In this week's Torah portion, Chukat, we find the Jewish people at the end of their journey in the wilderness of Sinai. 38 years have passed since the rebellion of the people against the instruction of God to enter the land of Israel. A new generation has been born in the wilderness, and the old generation has died away. As our Torah portion begins this morning, the Jewish people come to the wilderness of Tzin, where they are to prepare to enter the land of Israel. And then an unexpected development occurs. Moses' sister Miriam suddenly dies. The people go into mourning, and Moses himself is distraught. In the aftermath of this incident, the people once again begin complaining. Once again, they are upset because they have no water. God tells Moses to go before a certain rock and in the presence of the people to speak to the rock so that water may be produced and the people's thirst may be quenched. But Moses uncharacteristically does not follow God's commands as he has always done before. Rather than speaking to the rock, Moses comes to the rock, strikes it twice with his staff, and upbraids his people, calling them rebels and suggesting that they are not worthy of being given this blessing of water. As a result of Moses' lack of faith, God tells him that he will not enter the land of Israel, but will die in the wilderness of Sinai. Two questions naturally occur. Question number one, why did Moses, who had been so patient with the people over the years of their wandering, why did he suddenly lose his patience and castigate harshly his people, failing to observe God's command? And number two, what was the reason that caused Moses to lose his patience? I would suggest that the answer is, in fact, the death of his sister Miriam. Moses' sister Miriam had taken care of Moses from the time he was an infant. She had watched over his small ark that carried the baby Moses down the Nile River to the arms of Pharaoh's daughter. She had been with him throughout the years of the wandering. She had led the camp of the women. And when Moses' sister dies, Moses is angry, because had it not been for the sin of the generation of the spies, his sister would have entered the land of Israel, and she would have enjoyed the blessings that she was so richly entitled to. So when Miriam dies, and the people of the new generation begin to complain, Moses' distraught sadness over his sister's death manifests itself in his anger against his people. And for a brief moment, Moses, the leader of the Jewish people, loses faith in his people, calls them rebels, and in anger fails to fulfill the command that God had given him. Why did Moses sin? Because in his anger he forgot that a leader is never allowed to lose faith in the people that he leads. The lesson for us today is very clear. A leader may remain the head of his people only so long as he has confidence in them. But when a leader loses faith in his people, when he no longer has the patience to bear with them for good and for ill, he is no longer worthy of being their head, even if that person is someone as unique and saintly as Moses. Thank you.